Hi guys, Harry here. Welcome to Scrap Science. So I recently got these really cheap platinum electrodes off the internet for some future electrochemistry experiments, and I just wanted to check whether they're real by turning them into a really small scale hydrogen fuel cell. Alright, so the things you're going to need for a hydrogen fuel cell are your platinum electrodes, assuming that they're real. You're going to need some kind of power supply, any kind really, even a 9-volt battery will work. You're going to need your electrolyte solution in a glass jar. I'm using sodium carbonate that I used previously in my hydrogen generator video. You're going to need a multimeter. I've got some alligator clips to connect it all up. Alright, so to put the cell together, we're just going to get the platinum electrodes and put them into the solution like that. I'm going to use a little bit of plasticine here to secure them in place, make sure they won't fall over. There we are, the cell should be ready for connecting up. Alright, so I've just connected the cell up to 12 volts, and I've got my multimeter in parallel so we can read the voltage. And let's turn that on now. The power supply's a bit noisy. And we'll turn it on at the switch and we should start to see the water start being electrolyzed. So we should see oxygen bubbles coming off this electrode. Yep, a little bit. And off the other electrode we should see twice as many hydrogen bubbles. So now if we turn the cell off, I'll turn it off at the wall as well so we don't have that noise. The hydrogen bubbles should be left on this electrode, just a few of them on the surface, and then the same with the oxygen bubbles on this electrode. So what should be happening is we should be getting that hydrogen gas being oxidized catalytically by the platinum and generating electricity in the process. You can see over here we've got a small voltage across the electrodes indicating that we might be generating power. It might be acting like a capacitor though, so I'm not quite sure. To check that, we'll switch it to short circuit current, and that's dropping off quite quickly. That's a bit disappointing. It looks to me like it's just acting like a capacitor, meaning that we don't really have catalytic platinum doing the job of oxidizing the hydrogen. We've just got two electrodes and an electrolyte storing a little bit of electricity. Oh well, just means the electrodes are fake. So I've just charged up the cell again, and I've got this little digital clock, and I'll connect that up to the now charged fuel cell or capacitor, and we can get, even with that tiny little amount of current, we can get it to turn on for a couple of minutes. I'll watch it and see how long it goes for. Alright, 3 minutes later and the clock has cut out, and that's a bit disappointing because I can see on the electrode there are still little hydrogen bubbles that it should be turning into electricity. I don't know if you can see there, but there's still lots of bubbles left over on the electrode. So the platinum electrodes are definitely fake. So just to make sure that what we're seeing is a capacitor, I've reconstructed the cell using some of these graphite rods as electrodes, and they definitely shouldn't give us any kind of hydrogen fuel cell when we disconnect the power supply. So let's charge it up, and then when we turn it off we should get the same results as before if it's a capacitor that we were seeing. You can see the oxygen bubbles a bit better than the hydrogen bubbles this time. So let's turn that off and at the wall. And now over at the multimeter you can see we're getting the same kind of thing. It's just a capacitor. Even when we connect it up to this little digital clock, we should get the same thing. There we are. Oh well, there we are. These platinum electrodes are complete fakes. However, if you do have real platinum electrodes, or even real platinum wire for that matter, this kind of setup will give you a genuine hydrogen fuel cell, and you'll be able to power something like a little digital clock or maybe even a calculator with it.